today I am so excited because I am going to try to focus on me first because of this lady here. I am talking to Kimberli, who is an amazing person in my life. We haven't even met, and she impacts my life every day. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about Kimberli. Guys, this is Kimberli. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself and what you do?
Hi, everybody. I am Kimberli Holcomb. I'm with Fidelity National Title. I am a escrow officer and a part-time salesperson. I do a little bit of both jobs there, so which keeps me busy, and it's fun because I am a very talkative human, so I love people. And Actually, Delphine and I have kind of met through a really amazing group that Denise Crow had created that has been, I agree with you, like a big positive place in my life. And so huge shout out and thank you to her for doing that for us. She had asked me to do some yoga on that page through the whole quarantine thing. And because that's a hobby of mine, I am not certified. But I've been doing that on that page through quarantine. And so I had the pleasure of getting to meet Delphine and then talk to her prior to this. And it was like talking to an old friend. So.
Aw, well, thank you. Well, and I think for me, what's really great and the way I met you is through the group is that you started doing every day a different yoga pose. And so for me, it was really, even if I couldn't stay the whole time of the pose, or then you started doing more of a class, or just seeing your face on the screen and being able to take a deep breath, I was able to recenter myself every time. Because, we didn't have gyms, we didn't have classes that we could go to. And yes, we have classes online, but we have connections with our instructors. I used to work at Gold's too, and it was really something important to me, that connection. And even though we haven't met, I feel like I know you because every day I would see you and just your close up at first and talking to us and your calmness. There is such a calmness and a center to you that it helped me with my very chaotic life through the last couple months to recenter. So I really wanted to focus on mindset today because this is why I started these talks too. It's all about mindset and positivity. So tell me more about mindset and how can we make our lives better with the right mindset?
Oh goodness. I think with everything that's going on right now, it's like this is like a great timing for this. I was thinking that the other day, kind of doing a talking about namaste and what that means, because I always end my yoga, either the pose or the practice, with the yogi in me recognizes the yogi in you and namaste. And I think that's the mindset there is taking time every day for yourself, whether that's yoga, that's your job, that's sitting in a room and meditating, that's reading the Bible for some people and praying in the morning, just sitting at quietly, or going to the gym, or maybe doing something active, but taking time to just center yourself for the day. And so I was really appreciative of doing the yoga pose every day. It's nice to hear you say that because it kind of gave me a moment to have to stop what I was doing because I was also working full time from home. And so it gave me a time to go separate myself, put a few minutes on the mat and say, breathe. And I think that's the mindset, is that we're never present in our day. I'm 100% guilty of that. I think the whole world is guilty of that, right? So I had, when I first started yoga, like 8 years ago, I went to a mindful meditation class. So I'm kind of an overdoer. When I really like something or I want to learn about something, I want to know it all. Like I want to be engulfed in that. So I had gone to a couple of hot yoga classes, really liked it, and was like, okay, I need to know more. So I went to this mindful meditation class just to learn about what it was to be in, what Buddhists thought when they sit and they are in that moment on their mat. And one of the things that they said is that we have between 40 and 70,000 individual thoughts every day. And 5% of those thoughts are new thoughts. 95% of our thoughts, think about that, between 40 and 70,000 thoughts are regurgitated thoughts that we are just constantly, we're thinking about the things that happened in the past or things that we want to do in the future. But only 5% of those each day are new. So we're constantly worrying about things that that aren't even happening to us right now. So I think that's why I fell in love with yoga and why I've done it so long, is even if it's an hour out of your day, because it's hard for all of us to be able to separate ourselves, that mindset, from thinking about what we have to do. But I think it brings us to the mat for, even if it's, you're right, like one pose, just bring yourself to your center and try to focus on being mindful and present where you're at that time.
Yes. And the first one I watched too, that was really, and I can't remember the name of it, the one where the opening of the hips. So you just lay down and you relax and you just open your hips.
Okay.
So that one,
just
kind of laying down. Yes. And I was really touched by it, because the first time I did that, I remember the yoga instructor saying, okay, now think about all these thoughts that you have all day, gather them up right above you, and you have your eyes closed, take a deep breath, blow on it, and let it go. And those 3 words, let it go, I was like, no, I can't do that. I don't do that. And it was so funny.
Right.
I allowed myself to let go, and I started crying. And it had never happened to me before, because I have such a hard time letting go of my thoughts and letting go of all the worries that I have. And so through the last couple months, turning off the news and seeing the things that I can control in my life and letting go was liberating to me. So seeing you every day, again, so centered, and being able to take a breath, even if I didn't have time, was super helpful for me. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel good. That's nice. That's really nice. I felt the same way the first time that I was like I always joke that my favorite pose is Savasana, which is literally just like laying there, but it's more about like just, in the dark, just turning, and at the end of class, the first time I did class, it was so awkward, because you're like, what are we doing? Why are we just laying here? What's going on? I don't know these people. The room's dark. So, and then I would look forward to that. Like after a little bit of time, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get that 10 minutes just where you're kind of forced to just lay there and not think about these things that are happening. So I agree with you. It's kind of liberating to take that time and realize you don't have to always be thinking about what happens next. And especially right now, right?
Yeah, agreed. And so what's next for you? Are you still going to do it all the time on the groups? Because I know we're all picking up our lives even crazier right now, or I know I am. Everything is, and this is really a hobby for you at this point. But I know you have a few really good friends like Miss Crow who are trying to making you make that step and really take that next step. So what's your plan?
I'm not sure with yoga. I may, because of this, get certified and do that something on the side. After talking to Denise, I was like, it was a lot of fun, and I got a ton of positive feedback. And I had, posted a couple on my Instagram after showing you guys, just to kind of show, and I had positive feedback from that too. And I kept saying in my videos, I think I get more out of this than just teaching for you, because it helps me to and I got to learn the Sanskrit names of all these poses every day. So, I think it is something that I'm going to continue to move forward with. And I believe wholeheartedly in that be present mindset, and try to always be kind, even, just always be kind in the situation that you're in. And I read something once from Elizabeth Gilbert. She's my favorite author. She does Eat, Pray, Love. And she had a thing about kindness once. And she said, sometimes she can't always be kind, but at the very least, at the very minimum, she always tries to be nice and understanding. If you can't be kind, try to be nice. And then, we all kind of lose that sometimes, but try to be present in where you're at, realize what other people are going through, and focus on what's happening to you then, instead of bringing in what's happened to you a few hours prior, day before, what is coming.
Yeah. And it's a hard thing to do.
It is
sometimes a hard thing to do. I also do this when I have a bad interaction with someone, because maybe they brought something from an hour earlier. that had nothing to do
Yeah.
with me. I used to take
Yeah.
super, personally and be like, oh my gosh, what have I done here? And I have learned to give more grace to people and say, maybe they were having a bad day, or maybe something is happening in their lives. And sometimes I feel if you focus a little bit more and listen and take the time to watch the body language and listen and even ask a couple of kind questions, the body will like relax and they will realize that what they're doing. And I think it's easier to see if you take a moment to breathe and not take it personally and really be like, hey, I'm here for you. Is everything okay? Like,
Right.
a little tense.
Right.
Versus, I can't believe you're talking to me this way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so hard for us sometimes to pull back. And I always joke with my boss, because she's the most zen human I've ever met at Fidelity, Diane Garano. And I always joke with her, like, does anything ever get to her? And she always says, like, after 30 something years of you just, you understand, like, it's not everything's about you. And so there are, I've said this before, there were times I have to think about my own advice and the yoga and be, like, pull back and say, Kim, like, be present right now. So, and breathe.
And I try to do this with my kids because I enjoy those moments with them so much more, because we always have something to do. We were playing the game of life the other day, and I was like, oh, you guys are fine without me? And they're like, no, we want you to play with us. And I was like, oh, well, I can clean the windows. I have to do this real quick. And then they're like, you never stop. And I took a moment to say, it's true. It's true. I never stop. And this can wait. Let's play the game of life.
Right. Right. And I think this pandemic has been good for that, for all of us, don't you think? Like, being able to, I know there's a lot of negatives to it, but I feel like that's a positive for all of us that we can take away from this, is we were all forced to slow down. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but like, I realized how I was like, oh my gosh, like, how was I doing all the things that I was doing? And mentally, I mean, we can continue to go, but if you're not taking the time to mentally come together for yourself and take a moment for yourself, you're not helping yourself at all. You really need to be able to do that, and the people around you. And this has been a great opportunity for that, for all of us to slow down and prioritize some things. So it's been really good.
We agree. It's been great for us, and we even actually made the decision. My kids were so responsible and doing homework so well that we decided to do part-time school next year and mostly at home. I'm not sure how I'm going to fit it all in, but I really realized that it's not just all on me. I always thought that, if I did 3 hours a day of school and then the rest at home, that it would be all on me. But at the end of the day, if they're learning and if they take their journey into their hands and take ownership, they do a lot more than we think too.
Right.
So it was really great to go back to, hey, you're here now, so your chores need to be done. There's no more an excuse that we have to run to, the rec center or your next soccer game or your next baseball game or your next gymnastic competition, or no, we have time. And I mean, cooking has been so much fun for me. So I don't know.
See, that's great. See, I've seen more of that, like people posting more, like something they enjoy and they love throughout this, where I didn't see a lot of that from that person before. And I think that must be something that they really care about, that this gave them the time to do that, so,
yeah.
I had set a goal for hiking, like to hike a certain amount of time, and did that throughout this pandemic. And I realized, like, that's something I love to do, that I do make time for, but I don't make enough time for. And this gave me that, like, and same with yoga, so there's so many things that I got out of this and from the Misfit group, and that I'm so grateful for Denise creating that I can't even, and then like getting to meet people and connect with people through this. And I memean, I was like over the moon excited when you wrote me we got to talk. So I love stuff like that. So the connection is, I'm super grateful, and I was so excited.
Me too. And it's really so fun for me because I haven't met Denise yet either. And she and I are both in real estate, and it's just so fun to create those connections. And I agree with you. This group, Misfit, has been super helpful for me too. Is having the right connections, seeing too that I'm not the only one struggling, that I'm not the only one, busy or running around or just, wondering, hey, what's next? And, sometimes because I always want to focus on the positive, I feel guilty almost because I got so much positive out of this that sharing it is almost scary sometimes. But then I start sharing it with people like you and other people on Misfit and Denise, and we all realize that we get so much out of this, that yes, there is a lot. And I'm really sorry for anyone who has lost someone, because I know a couple of people in Montrose have lost their loved ones. And I'm just really lucky that I have taken so much out of this. I received so much from this. And my heart is full, and I'm just very, very lucky.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think there's, we have to focus on the positive, because you can't focus on negative things all the time. So it just would wear you down. So I think taking something away from it is what we all need to do. And that's just every day. Like, at the end of every day, if you have to say to yourself, I'm grateful for, or when you go to your mat, if you do yoga every morning, that can be your intention for the day. I'm grateful that yesterday I got 5 minutes on my mat, or I'm grateful that yesterday I got to, have time to cook that dinner that I really love, or whatever it is, and just say that. And that's your intention for the day, is to be grateful in that opportunity. So.
And being kind, I also think is so important. I love pure kindness in town. And to me, I live by the sentence, kill them with kindness. I do.
Yeah.
I was really trying to move an appraisal early, and I called, and I was like, I'm really trying to achieve this and that, and my buyer is asking for this, but I understand you're so busy. And I feel like you get so much more accomplished when you request with kindness. And I know other people who push, and they might get what they want, but people don't enjoy working with them. And
Right.
I love interacting with people and also seeing two different reactions. When I watch them with a person who might be a little bit aggressive, and I watch their body language when I'm talking to them, there is again that release, and that, okay, I don't need to be stressed over this, because
Right.
we're all in this together. And we can give so much more than we think. That's what this taught me too. For me, when we talk about mindset, I realize you can give so much more than you know. You can live on so much less than you know, and you can really just see where else can you give. And that drove me to give part of my income back to charity. But that's not all we can do. We can give time back. We can give so much more than we think.
Right. I agree. And I think we're all going to slowly start to this month come back into that. And it'll be interesting to see how everyone kind of makes adjustments now, because I think there will be a lot of adjustments coming from it, that'll be good. I think that'll be good. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the changes that came out of it that maybe we were pushed into changing, because everybody's uncomfortable with change, but.
Yep. I agree.
So,
well, thank you so much for your time. What else would you like Montrose to know about?
Okay, so Fidelity is going to be going with the Safer at Home order starting June 15th. We are going to be opening 50%. So closings will be inside again. So we are really looking forward to that. We're going to be obviously following all those rules. We'll wear the masks at the table, be sanitizing everything. We have the biggest thing of hand sanitizer I've ever seen at our desk right now. So, but we are looking forward to doing those closings back inside again. And things are pretty, we're getting a lot of stuff in. So things are moving back again. And it's a positive. We needed you. We need you, obviously. We need realtors to be able to be out there and, getting that business to bring it into us. So we are so glad that you guys are back out and getting to do your showings, and we are definitely seeing an uptick in that. And so just positive, be patient with your title company, whoever they are. If it's us, be patient with everybody. It's kind of like we went into this, we were all changing so rapidly and trying to keep up with what do we do and how do we keep everyone safe and what's the best option. And so we're kind of now moving out of that, and we're doing kind of a revert. We're like backtracking now, right? We're going to slowly start getting out, but we'll be at 50% capacity starting June 15th.
So. That is awesome. So I'll put that in the comments as well with a link to Fidelity's information. So we have all of the information on the office as well. What else? Tell me.
I think that's the biggest, most exciting thing is that the market is still moving. Refis have been a really big deal for us, and so I think that's been really great. Our goal is obviously to continue to keep everyone safe, so we're going to monitor that and do what's best for everyone. So if there are people that still want to do curbsides, keep in mind that that's definitely still an option. If you have clients that are just, I have grandparents in Montrose that I have to kind of I'll give your kitty. I know you've watched my video, so your kitty's coming to say hi like mine. I love that. Mine was in here. She left me. She loves to come and do my videos with me.
Yes.
She likes to be the star. But we, I have grandparents down there. It was the same thing. Like I had to try to keep them, safe because I know they're a little more weary. So if you have clients like that, we will accommodate that for sure. We have, the ability to do more electronic signatures. The governor extended the RON, so the remote online notary. And so Diane and myself both got certified to be able to do those. We're still waiting on maybe lender approval for some of those documents because they have to, be able to do that statewide too. So, but that is going to be a bonus for everyone, I think, going forward. We're moving more towards electronic signatures, and I think we're all excited about that.
That is great. Yeah, I think it really, everybody was saying, oh, it's 5 years down the road, but everyone had to really start moving faster with all of virtual, whether we do virtual open houses or you can do all the signing online. It's really moved forward so fast that I think we're going to be better for it at the end. Just like we were talking about earlier, even for technology just took a leap that they were working on, but that they're now ready to just take. So I'm excited for that personally.
Me too. We just have there are so many things and opportunities and things that the title company can offer you, products and electronic things to help you sell, that I think this helped push people to realize that, it's really helpful to do those virtual tours and do the Zoom meetings maybe with your clients, or looking at possibly doing those remote online signings. So, I think all of those are positives for our industry for sure.
I agree. So tell me your Instagram account. So if someone wants to see your pose or more, we can look on your Instagram account.
It's Kleeloo, KLEELOO 82. I won't tell you what the 82 is for. Just kidding. It's my birthday year.
You're young. All right. Amazing. Well, I think this was great. Thank you so much for sharing your gift. You really do have a light inside of you that just makes me breathe. So thank you so much for who you are. Beautiful person. And I love watching you and being part of it. So thank you for everything you give back to us on Misfits, on this group. I love it to pieces. Denise, thank you. We'll tag you.
Thank you, Denise.
Have an amazing evening, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Delphine. You've been absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much. I cannot wait till we get to go meet each other in person, have coffee.
Yeah, same here. Have a great evening.